All right, let's get right into it. Every single day, we're constantly proving who we are online. Logging into your email, your banking app, social media, it's just a constant ritual. But behind that simple login box, there's this massive, really complex world of digital identity. And today, we're going to unlock the secrets of some modern apps manage who gets in and what they can do by focusing on a super powerful open source gatekeeper, Keycloak.
Just take a second and think about it. How many do you have? 10? 20? Maybe 50? We've all felt that password fatigue, right? Trying to remember a million unique, complex passwords for every single service we use. It's a total headache for us as users. But let's flip the coin for a second. For the companies that are building these apps, our little headache is their giant security nightmare. I mean, every time a developer has to build a login system from scratch, they're basically reinventing the wheel. They're dealing with password storage, resets, protecting against data breaches, and all that time and energy takes away from building the actual features you and I want to use. So what's the solution here? Well, instead of every single app having its own bouncer at the front door, what if there was just one central, super trusted gatekeeper for everything? And that, right there, is the core idea behind centralized identity management.
Now, the fancy term for this is Identity and Access Management, or IAM. And the whole goal of an IAM system is to handle all that tricky security stuff, authentication, permissions, user roles, so that the app developers can just focus on what they do best, building awesome products. It centralizes all the authentication, which makes everything way more secure and way more efficient.
And for us, the users, the prize we get out of all this is single sign-on, or SSO. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You log in once with your company email and bam! You suddenly have access to your calendar, your chat app, your expense reports, all of it, without typing another password. That feeling? That's a good IAM system doing its job.
Okay, so to really get how this works, let's use a quick analogy. Imagine you're at a huge conference. First, you go to the main registration desk and you show your ID. In return, they don't give you your final badge. They give you a temporary ticket. Then you take that little ticket over to a second counter where you exchange it for your official event badge. That badge is your access token. That's what lets you into all the different talks and sessions. And if it expires, there's something called a refresh token, which is kind of like a shortcut to get a new badge without having to go all the way back to the beginning. That whole secure multi-step dance, that's modern authentication.
So if you're a company and you need one of these powerful gatekeepers, who do you actually turn to? Well, there are a few major players out there, but the conversation really tends to boil down to two giants that represent two very different ways of thinking.
So on one side, you've got Keycloak. This is the powerful, super flexible, open source solution. It was originally from Red Hat, and now it's part of the Cloud Native Computing Foundation. And on the other side, you've got Okta, the dominant, cloud-based proprietary service that's become the go-to for a lot of big companies. You can think of it like this. It's like building your own high-tech security system versus hiring a top-tier security firm to do it all for you.
And the differences really do come down to philosophy. With Keycloak, you get total control. You could deploy it on your own servers, customize it down to the last pixel, and you pay nothing for the software itself. The trade-off? Well, you're relying on community support, and you probably have to build integrations yourself. Okta is the complete opposite. It's a cloud subscription service with dedicated support and a gigantic library of pre-built connectors. You give up some control, but you gain a ton of convenience and speed. It's not just a feature list. It's a totally different approach.
Let's just zoom in on that core trade-off for a second. With Keycloak, you get this really powerful theming engine. You can make your login pages, your admin consoles, your emails, all of it look exactly like your brand. The control is incredible. With Okta, the absolute killer feature is its ecosystem. We're talking over 7,000 pre-built integrations. That means you can connect to almost any cloud application you can think of in just a few clicks. It's really the difference between a custom-built toolkit and a universal remote control for all your apps.
So you see, this isn't really about which one is better. It's about which model is the right fit for your organization. And this brings us right to the classic open source trade-off: control versus convenience.
When you're making this decision, these are the questions you really have to ask yourself. Do you want the ultimate flexibility of an open source tool, or do you want the peace of mind that comes with a managed service? Can you get by with community forums for support, or do you need a contract that guarantees response times? Are you trying to optimize for zero upfront software cost, or is a predictable subscription fee better for your budget? And maybe most importantly, how big of a deal is it for you to avoid being locked into a single company's ecosystem? Okay, let's make this super practical. Based on everything we've just talked about, how do you know which path is the right one for you or your company? You should seriously be looking at Keycloak if your team has the technical chops to manage its own infrastructure. You're going to choose it if you need to build a totally unique authentication experience, or if you operate under strict data laws that mean you have to host everything yourself. And if your budget is tight and you're a big believer in open source to avoid being tied to one vendor, Keycloak is your champion, for sure.
Now, on the other hand, you should probably lean towards Okta if your company uses dozens of different cloud apps and you need them to all work together seamlessly like yesterday. If speed is the name of the game and you'd rather pay for a managed service with dedicated support than build a whole team to handle it, Okta's designed for you. For huge global companies that need proven scalability and compliance features ready to go, well, it's the industry standard for a reason.
At the end of the day, this isn't just a technical decision. It's a choice about control. It's about philosophy. And it's about trust. It really forces us to ask a fundamental question. In a world that is completely built on data, who do you trust to manage the keys to your digital